The galaxy had a single, sacred law carved into the fabric of time itself. Never, ever disturb the slumbering humans. They were known as the Ascendancy, a people of living light woven from pure thought and energy. Their cities were symphonies of geometry, their minds capable of calculations that bent reality. They had transcended physical form eons ago, yet for all their godlike power, they obeyed that one ancient warning. Why? The humans were just sleepers. Their gargantuan ships, more like drifting space reefs than vessels, were scattered to the silent sectors. Records said they retreated into stasis after exhausting their world. A sad tale of a primitive race hitting a dead end. The law was a mercy, a courtesy. The greatest empires whispered it in fear. Let the humans dream. Senior luminary Yvonne observed the latest find, a human arc ship designated Oblivion's Promise. His light form pulsed with a rhythm of unease. Fascinating relics, he communed his junior Lyra. To think these simple beings inspired our oldest taboo. Lyra, brilliant and impulsive, vibrated with curiosity. Their stasis fields, they don't just preserve. They're processing. There's a quantum signature our scanners can't parse. A simple resonance test. Do not touch the artifact, Lyra. But touch it she did. What was meant to be a harmless skin acted like a universal alarm clock. Across the arc, millions of pods began cycling from blue to amber. Ancient systems, mislabeled as dormant, roared to life with terrifying silence. Yvonne's emergency pulse shattered the quiet of the High Conclave. Code Eventide. I repeat, Eventide. The humans are waking in Sector Theta. The response was immediate. A fleet of Ascendancy Guardians folded space around the Ark, forming a shimmering containment web. The voice of the Conclave, an entity of ancient, furious light, appeared. You have doomed us, you flickering ember of a thought. Do you comprehend what you've unleashed? Before Yvonne could form a reply, their sensors caught the first human transmissions. Not words at first, feelings. A deep, resonant, and profoundly grumpy sense of disturbance. Then, language cracked across all channels, raw and unfiltered. Who turned on the lights? The diplomatic choir, masters of calming stellar novas and soothing wars between dimensions, floated toward the Ark's main airlock. Their forms were tuned to radiate harmony and apology. Choir Master Celeste pulsed with rehearsed regret. Esteemed visitors from Earth, we extend our deepest. Is that noise necessary? The human spokesperson stood there, wrapped in a faded thermal blanket, hair defying local gravity. Dark semicircles hung under their eyes. They clutched a steaming mug. Do you have any idea what time it is? Our internal clocks are set for another 300 years. The choir's light dimmed in confusion. This wasn't in the first contact primers. We offer reparations. State-of-the-art dream chambers, memory-woven comfort spheres. The human took a long, audible sip. You broke a 1,000,000-person sleep cycle. You think a fancy mattress topper fixes that? We had the perfect REM rotation going. The complaints began to flow, a torrent of grievances about back stiffness, forgotten dreams, and the dreadful realization their pre-sleep playlists were millennia out of date. Things escalated when a human archivist discovered their favorite caffeinated beverage bean was galactically extinct. The resulting emotional spike was so potent it caused 2 junior choir members to temporarily lose coherence. They're not declaring war, Solis frantically pulsed to the conclave. They're holding a grievance forum. They're talking about forming a committee on interrupted sleep hygiene. The humans, now fully caffeinated with substitute brew, made a discovery. They accessed galactic historical records about their own demise. At first, there was silence. Then, a sound the Ascendancy had no classification for. Human laughter. Oh, this is precious, the spokesperson wheezed, light years of amusement in their voice. You think we slept because we failed? The truth detonated across the conclave's consciousness. Humanity hadn't gone into stasis out of scarcity. They'd done it out of sheer, universe-spanning boredom. They hadn't fallen behind. They'd stepped aside to let others play. They'd solved entropy. They debated the meaning of existence and settled on 42 as a private joke. They'd built Dyson spheres not for power, But for ambience, their primitive arc ships were philosophical art projects. Their stasis pods, quantum supercomputers running elaborate simulated histories for fun. The Don't Wake Humans rule? An automated out-of-office message they'd seeded into the cosmos themselves. The ultimate prank. The Ascendancy watched in humbled horror as humanity stretched its metaphorical limbs. They casually recalibrated local star clusters to improve the galactic feng shui. They introduced concepts like weekends and snack breaks to civilizations that operated on continuous thought. They resolved a bitter territorial dispute between the lithoids and the gasborn by hosting an epic zero-gravity barbecue. Ambassador Solis found their role changed to Chief of Vibe Checks. The High Conclave was retrofitted with reclining energy fields. Governance now happened during what humans called coffee and contemplation sessions. The Void Weavers, once creatures of existential dread, became surprisingly popular life coaches. Facing your cosmic insignificance over tea is rather soothing, they'd hum. Young Ascendancy began forming chill clusters, their light patterns mimicking human moods. The universe got relaxed. But one solar cycle later, during a plenary session in the newly named Cosmic Lounge, Yvonne noticed a change. The humans were yawning. Not just one. All of them. A wave of drowsy sentiment washed through the arc. Everything all right? Yvonne pulsed, a thread of panic in his light. Oh, yeah, the human leader murmured, snuggling deeper into their blanket. You know how it is after a long nap. You're up for a while, then you get sleepy again. The chamber fell into a stunned silence. The horrifying, hilarious realization dawned on every non-human consciousness. You can't be serious, the voice of the conclave flickered weakly. Watch us, the human smiled, their eyes already half closed. Don't worry, we've left proper instructions this time, and a better alarm system. They looked around, a last spark of mischief in their gaze. But maybe keep that old rule. You know, for nostalgia's sake. And so, the galaxy prepared for the second great snooze. As Yvonne watched the human arc's lights dim once more, he felt not dread, but a warm, amused resonance. They had all been part of something absurdly profound. Before you go, if you enjoyed this tale of cosmic naps and galactic chaos, do the channel a solid and hit that like button. It helps Winds of Thought bring you more stories from the edges of infinity. Thanks for watching.